to traffic on December 2nd for repairs. And Virginia police shared more information today on the Bluefield, West Virginia man that allegedly wounded one and killed another during a fight at a New Year's Eve party in Tazewell, Virginia. 23-year-old Coven Bird Hall is charged with murder, aggravated malicious wounding, and weapons violations after he allegedly shot 30-year-old Braden Coxton, who died at his home, and 18-year-old Aiden Bennett Shelton. Virginia Police Department Lieutenant C.S. Menifee says the host was one of the victims, and things got out of control as the night wore on.
Mr. Coxton and his girlfriend were hosting a party for New Year's Eve, and they had sent out a flyer, and so some people were known to the couple and some were not, but it was a rather large party, and an altercation ensued somewhere shortly before midnight.
Menifee said that right now it's unclear what sparked the confrontation. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Did you know Greer Lime Company's products are used in a variety of environmental applications that impact your everyday life? For example, Greer's Quick Lime and Hydrated products are fundamental to the key processes in drinking water and wastewater treatment, and their high-calcium limestone, Quick Lime, and Hydrate products are used in the removal of acidic pollutants from power plant flue gases. Greer's products are also used in coal mines to treat acid mine drainage and as alkaline amendment. Learn more online at GreerLime.com.
Metallurgical coal builds the world, and the Met Coal Producers Association is the network that makes it possible. The MCPA unites America's met coal producers, giving members a powerful voice in policy, partnership, and progress. Producers, suppliers, and innovators come together here to build relationships, drive growth, and strengthen our industry. Join today. Visit metcoal.com. Met Coal makes it possible. MCPA makes it personal.
A Sissonville man is facing charges after he allegedly sexually assaulted a minor. 62-year-old William Mooney was arrested today and charged with first-degree sexual assault and sexual abuse by a parent, guardian, custodian, or person in a position of trust to a child. He is being held in the South Central Regional Jail. An investigation is underway in Wheeling after human remains were discovered this afternoon. Police were called to South Wheeling to an area near 42nd Street and Wood Street. No other information has been released.
Metro News Sports. Good afternoon. I'm Gerald Mercado. Late game heroics from Trayson Eaglestaff allowed Ross Hodge to earn his first Big 12 victory as the leader of the Mountaineers last night. Eaglestaff's three-pointer with 1:12 to play gave WVU a lead they would not relinquish in a 62-60 win over Cincinnati. Eaglestaff on the winning shot.
I heard 3, 2, 1. I'm like, I got 1 second left. I got to throw it up. So I turned to my shoulder and threw it up. And then once I threw it up, Coach Martinez and Jack on the bench like, oh, that's good. And I'm just like praying. I'm like, please go in. And it went in. So blessed to be in that situation, blessed to be this opportunity, and it was a great win.
The Marshall men's basketball team seeks their fourth consecutive victory tonight as they visit James Madison. Marshall is 2-1 in Sun Belt play. The WVU women's basketball team looks to hand Texas Tech their first loss of the season tonight in Morgantown. Both teams are 3-0 in Big 12 play, and they are the last unbeaten teams in league play.
Important, sure, fun, exciting. You know, this is what you want for January 7th. It will feel, probably NC tournament-ish, but we've already played some of those that were in November, so that's not unusual. That's what the Big 12 is, though. It's almost every night, They still count the same, so just like whether we're playing Tech or playing Kansas State, you're either 1-0 or you're 0-1.
That's WVU head coach Mark Kellogg. Winners of 8 consecutive games, the Marshall women's basketball team plays host to Old Dominion tonight. Marshall is currently 13-3 overall. You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Zach Hupp, project manager with CEC. After graduating from Glenville State College, I took over my dad's surveying business. It was fulfilling, but when CEC came calling, I knew it was an opportunity I couldn't refuse. With CEC, I'm reaching clients I never dreamed of and seeing projects through to completion. It's more than a job, it's a new chapter. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Greer Industries. For over 100 years, Greer Limestone Company has been providing products that build a solid foundation and pave the way to a bright future. Greer Limestone Company is West Virginia's largest limestone producer, with 3 limestone operations and a stone distribution yard in north central West Virginia. All WV DOH stone with on-site testing laboratories. To learn more, visit GreerLimestone.com or call 304-296-2549.
Be sure to tune to the first winter sports edition of High School Sports Line tonight from 7:06 to 9 o'clock, all across the Metro News Radio Network and at WVMetroNews.com. Kyle Wiggs and myself will be joined by a pair of the state's top basketball players, and Noah Lewis of George Washington and Harry Silvis of Parkersburg South. In the second hour, we'll be joined by a trio of defending state champion coaches, Rabbit Thompson of Tug Valley, Mel Stevens of Wheeling Central, and Amy Chapman of Gilmer County. The show will also be archived at WVMetroNews.com this evening. For Metro News Sports, good afternoon, I'm Joe Burkott.
ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Wednesday, January 7th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Coming up this hour, we're going to hear from Bobby Iddings. He's going to have the call of Marshall women's basketball. Thundering Herd taking on Old Dominion. This coming up tonight, 6 o'clock at the Cam Henderson Center. Game's going to be on ESPN+. So Bobby's going to join us about 5:30. We're going to talk to him about the Thundering Herd, undefeated in league play, has an opportunity to continue that streak. So should be a fun one tonight at the Cam. And, of course, the men are on the road as well. So we'll get you set with our preview coming up tonight. Directly at 6 o'clock, it'll be First Century. It'll be college basketball today. Got to get my sponsors right here. I got all the notes here. We do so many sponsors, by the way. And it's great. We appreciate everyone. So we'll come up at 6 o'clock with West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council College basketball today, presented by Lyona, your workforce solution at WVLDC.org. I got to get into that sponsorship mode. And then after the game, we'll be right back here for Giovanni's 20th Street College basketball wrap-up. And we'll take your texts, of course, hopefully have comments from a victorious head coach, Cornelius Jackson. So all of that coming up tonight, starting at 6 o'clock right here and on 93.7 The Dog. So looking forward to that. And then in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to John Mercer, good friend of the program, Marshall's tennis coach. The spring schedule is out, so there are a few opportunities for you to go out and support the women. We'll talk to John in the next few minutes as well. But plenty of time for you. Our text line will be open at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our number to be a part of today's show. And, of course, if you're listening to us on the podcast or you're listening at a later time, wherever you're listening, we'll take your comments as well. You can also find me on X at Paul Swann. And, of course, yesterday's show was interesting because we had Ryan Crisp on, and we were talking about the game coming up tonight and some of the fun things that the women do. And they have Herd karaoke, where they'll pre-record the ladies singing a song, and you get to choose which one you want to hear. And, of course, I was asking for some song suggestions. And our esteemed intern part-timer, Ben Anderson, thought he's clever, sent me a text on our text line at 7:57 this morning, and he was saying, thinking that he was going to get that past me, but little does he know that I have his number programmed in. He suggested a great walk-up song for Marshall women's basketball, Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter. So, unfortunately for him, I do not agree. But we'll see what they have tonight. Games coming up. And again, we'll have the men coming up at top of the hour right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. It's been pretty busy going on here today for the Thundering Herd. First up, football team. Adding a couple more to the football staff. Chip West and Dean Hood joining the Herd on the defensive side of the football. West is going to coach the cornerbacks for new defensive coordinator Brad Lambert's defense, while Hood's going to take over the safety spot. West served as the cornerbacks coach at Wake Forest in the 23 and 24 seasons, spent 3 seasons at Syracuse following his first stint with the Herd, and prior to coming to Huntington, West was Lambert's co-defensive coordinator at Charlotte in 2018 after serving in the same capacity at Howard in 2017. Also, you've got a lot of experience, and I think that's the key here. You have a lot of experience coming with Dean Hood. 4 decades of coaching. And so he's going to rejoined Lambert. They were at Kentucky in the 2025 season, also at Charlotte. Hood spent a couple of seasons as the director of player development at Kentucky, 4 years as the head coach at Murray State, so he knows the region well. Prior to leading the Racers, he was on Kentucky's staff as an outside linebackers coach. That was back in 2017. Also, defensive back coach in the 2018 and 19 calendar years. He was on Lambert's staff as an assistant head coach in 2016, special teams coordinator, tight ends coach, and, of course, several years as the head coach at Eastern Kentucky University. So he has a lot of experience. And, of course, another promotion, and I don't know if you follow her on X, but you should because she's super active. And so if you really want to know if a player is coming to Marshall or a player has arrived, follow Sydney Spears on X. She's been elevated to Director of Recruiting and Executive Administration for Marshall football. So she gets a promotion. And of course, her social media account is really active. So if you kind of want an inside peek into what's going on, she's definitely an account to follow. So I follow her. I know if she puts something out there, I can definitely guarantee it's legit. So she's a good follow on social media. You can find me on social media as well. I'm at Paul Swann. It's a great place if you want to interact. And, of course, for the most part, the DMs are open. You can also find me on other social media platforms as well, but I'm primarily hanging out on X for the most part at Paul Swann. And speaking of social media platforms, do yourself a favor. Get the podcast subscribed right now. Go to your podcast player, either Apple Podcasts. If you're using Spotify, that's great. I use both. There's some other great podcast platforms out there. And just go ahead and do a search for The Drive with Paul Swann. And then add it, subscribe. It's free. And then the show will come to you. So if you're trying to keep up, maybe you missed an episode now and then, you can go to our website at WRVC.com. That's great. But you can also subscribe and get the show delivered right to you. And if you're following me on some of my socials, we'll have that for you as well. But that's probably the best way to get the show. Just have the podcast come to you when it's available. No guessing, no worrying. It arrives when it's ready to go. And then if you can't listen to the show live, you got us covered right there. So I'm encouraging everyone to do that. And you can also stream the show live, get the app, all at WRVC.com. All right. We're going to take our first break. We're coming back. We'll hear from John Mercer, head coach of the Marshall tennis team. Looking forward to catching up with him as the Herd releasing the 2026 spring schedule, 7 home matches in the spring. So a great opportunity for you to go see the Thundering Herd. Also, Bobby Iddings joins us. He'll have the call. Marshall, Old Dominion. That'll be on ESPN Plus. Looking forward to that. And Bobby joins us about 5:30. So all that's coming up. And your text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union now brings you all the tech that big banks have, but still has that personal touch of a member-owned community credit union. Apple Pay? Got it. Digital wallet? Yep. Message pay by text, online loan payments, even chatting with a real person, not a bot. Open accounts, sign documents, and manage your money all online. It's the big bank tech you need from the local community-minded credit union you trust. Metro Community FCU. Visit metrocommunityfcu.com today.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
home.
Our Kendrick Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Roosters at Pullman Square. Over 40 TVs, hot wings, cold beer, and great daily specials. Roosters, a fun, casual joint. Spring Valley Plaza on Jackson Pike, featuring the UPS store. The Herbal Tea Shop, AJ's Axe House, Classic Barber, Loco Taco, and more. And Classic Jewelry and Loan in Barbersville, your gold and silver headquarters with guns, jewelry, and more. Voted best in the tri-state.
Cold weather's on its way. And what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
The new year at Hometown Chevrolet can only mean one thing. It's time to upgrade your ride. Right now, we're offering top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. That's cash in your pocket, no strings attached, just for bringing in your car. Drive into the new year with something you'll love, turning heads wherever you go, and starting the new year confident, excited, and ready for the road ahead. It's simple and it's fast, and it's waiting for you at yourhometownchevy.com, or stop by and see us in Waverly. Your Hometown Chevy, where the new year starts with you in the driver's seat.
Injured in a fall? Warner Law Offices is now here for you in Huntington on 4th Avenue across from the courthouse. Personal, local, decades of experience.
Call 345-6789.
Ladies, prioritizing your health starts with Marshall OBGYN. From screening exams to disease prevention to management of reproductive problems, our team offers a complete range of services for women of all ages. Thinking about growing your family? Marshall OBGYN's physicians are experienced in providing you the support you need for normal or high-risk pregnancies in a friendly, family-oriented environment. Learn more at marshallhealth.org/OBGYN.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
We continue on with this Wednesday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We'll open the text line up in just a few minutes for you at 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. We found out earlier today that the Herd tennis team has released its 2026 spring schedule, and tell us more about some of the opportunities you can take part of to go out and support the Herd is the head coach of the Marshall tennis team, John Mercer. What are you in, like your 50th year, John? How many years have you been doing this now?
In tennis coaching years, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Yes.
I don't know a time at Marshall without a Mercer coaching.
Yeah, it's been good to us. I mean, we've had, a lot of great years, and I think out of the 30-some years that we've been here, we've only had 3 losing years, non-500 years, which were tough years, but I think the other 28 were pretty good. So looking forward to this one. This is a really good team that we've put together with a lot of help from JJ, the new associate head coach. So, really looking forward to getting started.
JJ Mercer, for those that maybe don't know, your son.
Yes.
That's an important detail, John.
That is a very important detail, and he is a very important component of what we're doing. So he has done an unbelievable job recruiting, both American and international players. And, probably one of the prize players he got this year. He got the 15th best recruit in the country out of North Carolina to come here and play for the Herd. And blue chip player, Talia Smith, and she had a great fall. And really looking forward to seeing what she can do in the spring.
How did he land her? What was the pitch?
We just have a lot of good tradition here. Being out of North Carolina, it wasn't too far from home. Felt like we gave a lot of opportunity to her, and our motto is tradition is we're kind of we're really good at player development, and she wants to keep getting better, and so we can use that and give her a lot of opportunity and really work on her game. So she'll keep getting better while she's here. She's already gotten better in the fall, and it's exciting to watch.
John Mercer's with us, head coach of the Marshall tennis team. The spring schedule is out. So you've got 7 opportunities for Herd fans to come out and support your squad. You've got a match against Cleveland State on February 6th, VCU on February 8th. You're going to be facing off against West Virginia, the Mountaineers, on February 20th. Also, you have home contest versus James Madison on the 27th of March. 29th of March, it's Old Dominion. And then in April, you've got Dayton on the 12th. And then the Miami Redhawks on April 17th before you head out to the Sun Belt Conference. Also, you're going to be involved in the ITA National Indoor Championship at LSU. You want to start there, or is there some other spots on your schedule that you want to highlight?
We can start with that one. So the rankings came out today. LSU's 5 in the country. They have an awesome team. They have a bunch of girls that played, a lot of the junior Grand Slams. They put a lot of money into their program, both in facility-wise and NIL-wise, and they're going to be a tough out when it comes to competing at the very highest level and possibly winning a national championship. So it's a great opportunity for us to go down there, play in a beautiful facility. I actually watched JJ play his senior year down there when Kentucky won the SEC. They actually won there. They have a beautiful 12-court outdoor stadium and 6 indoor right beside it, and it's right beside their awesome baseball field, and it'll be pretty cool to just go in there and compete and see where we are. But we got a good team, and really looking forward to it, and maybe I'll start trolling them a little bit, Paul. Tell them to bring their popcorn to the match, right?
Anything that makes it work, right? I mean, I would do that. I'd do everything I possibly could.
Are you following me there with the lane thing,
I got it. No, I'm with you. Anything that, needs to happen here. I like to see you, just like on social media, just like sitting on the sideline watching your team, just eating some popcorn. That would probably be a meme right there.
There you go.
You can just put that out yourself. Or just, you know what? Have JJ put that out for you. Let JJ handle it.
Yeah. I might have to put you in charge of my, my media account, though.
Okay.
So, with that idea, that's pretty good.
Let's do that. So
then we play either UCLA or Central Florida. So, again, 2 top 25 teams. It was us 4 in that region. It was really exciting that, we got to go there and we get to go there and, compete in the same region with those 4 teams and or 3 teams, and really looking forward to the trip. And then right off of that, we come home and then we make a trip to Wake Forest. So their men were national champs last year, and I think the women are probably looking for a little revenge since we beat them at home last year. So I'm sure they'll be ready for us. But hopefully our trip to LSU will prepare us well and see if we can do what we did again last year.
It's an interesting road slate, as you mentioned. Wake Forest on January 31st, and then you're going to hang on and take on Penn State February 22nd. That's always a tough one there. You've got Liberty on the 27th of February. You also will be on the road for some conference matchups as well. Those are big gets, though. Wake Forest, Penn State, and this is all outside of the ITA National Indoor Championship. You've got some familiar foes as well, like, say, an EKU. Challenging schedule, deliberate, of course, knowing you, right?
Yes. Really good team. What's great is we got a lot of return trips out of this. So Penn State will be here the following, next year, returning. Wake Forest is coming back again. We'll have Illinois, Virginia Tech both here. We got some real Power 4 conference opponents. We'll be coming into Huntington the following year, and so we're having to go a little bit on the road this year. The schedule is what it is. Unfortunately, we lost our regular season conference schedule this past year in the Sun Belt. So even though we have some teams on there, a lot of us were scrambling because it was really late. It was in the spring after scheduling was really already done for a lot of programs. And so we kind of were able to do what we did. We were able to keep some of the teams that were closer, in the Sun Belt, the James Madisons and so on, but in the App States. So, but all around, we don't have as many home matches as we like, but the following year we should. I think we have like 11 or 12 home matches. So, this year we'll grind it out on the road, making a trip to Columbia, which we owed them a return trip. Really excited about that. Another really good team. One of the better Ivy League. They should have a great chance to win the Ivy League this year. So we'll be heading up to New York, and they have a beautiful $50 million facility that we'll be playing in, right on the river there. So great experiences for our young ladies. Get to go play at these venues and play this level of competition, and but the key part is we'll be competitive. I mean, we got a good team, and we've recruited well, and so it'll be fun to go play and see what we can do.
Take me back just a moment to the conference makeup and what the format and the scheduling is now. Why is it this way?
So I guess there was a vote to drop the regular season. They've had the regular season forever in the Sun Belt. I think it's part of this overall thing in college sports where a lot of programs, a lot of athletic programs, they're going to try to become more regional, make more regional schedules, especially at the G5 level. And so, as a result, they dropped that. And kind of what's happened is that, the schools in the southern area in the Sun Belt, they're still all going to play each other, which is nice because they're all within driving distance. But us, us schools that just kind of came in, James Madison, ODU, us, we kind of got left out because we're kind of a little bit out of their area, so we won't get to play them as much. But what I actually did as a result of this is we have a region, the Atlantic region, and the college tennis is divided into 16 regions around the country. So the Atlantic region involves, West Virginia, Virginia, pretty much. There's a little bit here and there outside of that, but pretty much that area. So I got together with some of the other coaches, and actually we started a G5 Atlantic region conference schedule, actually, on our own. So starting next year, we'll be playing like Richmond, Georgetown, Liberty, VCU, ODU, James Madison, us, are all going to be in this regional schedule. So just trying to get ahead of it a little bit. So you kind of have all those really good tennis programs who are all doing it, and they all signed on, and we're all doing home and aways the next couple of years, and then add that onto the Power 4 schools that we're playing. We got unbelievable schedule, great competition, competition at the highest level, and so we'll, look forward to that, and we'll kind of do our own thing in our region, and then we'll keep playing probably a couple Sun Belt schools here and there, but it's tough when they're that far out of the way. When you're not really set up to be traveling, to South Alabama and those schools. So, we'll make it work and keep some high quality competition going, and just trying to adjust on the fly to the new world of college athletics.
John Mercer's with us, head coach of the Marshall tennis team. So I'm understanding this is a scheduling alliance. This isn't sort of a makeshift. Hey, we're going to play for a trophy or anything like that. This is more a scheduling alliance.
Maybe I'll dust off one of the trophies off my shelf. So
you have a lot of them. I don't know who has more problems with shelving, you or Mercer.
It's basically a scheduling alliance.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just call it that. And, I think we're all kind of getting into the same boat. And, it's probably the future of college athletics, where you're probably going to have some of your sports that, aren't football, basketball, where they'll, and you're not in a Power 5, you're just going to have to become a lot more regional in your scheduling and travel. And it's really something, it's fine with me. It's easier traveling, and, you're getting good competition going and playing at Richmond, versus going and playing to South Alabama, so, it's all good. And, it's a good scheduling alliance. Right now we have 8 teams, and the only 2 that declined it were Navy and William and Mary, just because right now their conferences are still wanting them to try to play like 5 of the teams that are in their conference every year, even though they're not doing a full-out regular season schedule. They're like, we want you to play like at least 5 teams in the conference, which I don't really understand. But so maybe hopefully in the future, they'll join in, and we'll get a trophy going, Paul.
Fair enough. John Mercer, I was trying to say, I don't know who has a bigger problem with trophy cases, you or Chris Grassi. I'm going to lean you just a little bit right now. Longevity, John, longevity.
Been here a while, yeah.
Just a little long, just a little.
Yeah.
John Mercer is our guest, head coach of the tennis team. So you've got the scheduling alliance. I'm excited for that. We'll see probably more details about that next season. But this is an interesting schedule, of course, for fans who want to follow along. When you're playing, where you're playing, tickets, all that, how they support the program.
Right now, there's no charge for tickets. Usually come March, if we're playing a home match, we're trying to play outside down at the Brian David Fox tennis facility right on campus, right behind the Henderson Center, between Twin Towers and the Henderson Center. So it's a great home court advantage for us. And prior to that, if we're playing in February or January, I don't think we have any in January, but in February, we'll be out at the 7827 Tennis Center out in Barbersville, right across from the Walmart, up on top of the hill there. And, I've had some big-time wins in there over the years, so it's been good to us. So looking forward to that. And, we'll see if we can take advantage of our 7 home matches this year.
It all begins January 17th at EKU. John, thanks for doing it as always, and good luck on the schedule, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Paul. Anything for you.
I appreciate
so
that.
Go hard.
That's John Mercer, head coach of the Marshall tennis team. You heard that. Anything for me, he said. When we continue, Bobby Iddings joins us. Marshall women basketball in action against Old Dominion at the Cam Henderson Center, 6 o'clock. We got to get Bobby on because he's got a job to do. We'll do that when we continue on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Let the Car Ferry bring a little magic to your driveway at Mark Porter Auto Group. With locations in Pomeroy and Jackson, Ohio, and Ashland, Kentucky, they make it easy to get into a safe, reliable vehicle. Every used car goes through a 117-point inspection, fall into a safe, reliable vehicle, and let the Car Ferry guide you to Mark Porter Auto Group in Pomeroy, Jackson, and Ashland, or shop 24/7 at markporterautogroup.com.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Baker's Waterproofing and Basement Authority of West Virginia are now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Poca Valley Bank locations today. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Cold weather's on its way, and what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira-joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Buffalo Wild Wings Go is now open in Huntington on 3rd Avenue, right across from Edwards Stadium. Celebrate with unbeatable grand opening specials like the Pick 6 meal, 2 entrees, 2 sides, and 2 drinks, all for just $19.99. Or grab the 20 bone-in wings and fries for $21.99. And 20 boneless wings and fries for only $17.99. Order online, BuffaloWildWings.com or in the app. Get it delivered or swing by and carry it out. Buffalo Wild Wings Go, now open 3rd Avenue, Huntington.
Specials available via Buffalo Wild Wings app only.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Marshall women's basketball in action tonight at the Cam Anderson Center, 6 o'clock on ESPN+. For those of you that are maybe keeping an ear on the Marshall men's game, we'll have that for you on 93.7 The Dog and, of course, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. If you're following us on the men's side, you can get that second screen open and follow along. Bobby Iddings will have the call tonight, and he now joins us with the preview. This is a big one. Thundering Herd undefeated in Sun Belt play, 13-3. I mean, this team is so good, I can remember the losses vividly because it's just few and far between, and I think you've got a great one tonight.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, you look at what Marshall's got in terms of being 13-3 overall on the year and really kind of getting off to that hot start in conference, winning 8 in a row now since that loss at Morehead State back at the end of November, going against a really good Old Dominion team. This is an Old Dominion team with plenty of prestige, plenty of pedigree, going back to kind of its time in the late 90s, competing for national championships, 10-5 overall to start the season. So it's a big game for both teams. And for Julie Falks, this is just kind of the same thing she wants to do. She wants to continue establishing that her team is one of the top dogs in the Sun Belt. And that's going to start tonight. You want to get to that 5-0 record before Coastal Carolina, a team you played to overtime last week, comes into town on Saturday.
Are you seeing with this team just that ability to, doesn't matter what the situation is, it feels that it's going to go out there and win that game, no panic. And I haven't seen that. And there have been some amazing comebacks and amazing runs when you thought maybe, just maybe, this team is a little bit better than the Herd or have got the Herd's number. Marshall shuts the door and just goes out to the win.
You know, I think that's to be seen still. I think you've seen this team. They can score in a lot of variety of ways. They've obviously got a lot of three-point shooting. They made the 18 threes against Coastal Carolina last week. They've got the players that can drive to the bucket. Tamaya Lewis-Utsi has been the straw that stirs the drink for this team. When she can really get to the bucket, it frees up the shooters, frees up the post players. They've got the post players inside. You saw Nakia Chesterfield really kind of thrust herself into a prestigious position in terms of scoring the basketball on Saturday against Appalachian State when they got off to a really slow start in that one. So they've got a lot of different ways to play. And I think what Julie Falks talks about is, hey, defense travels. And that's what she said. She said, I think I want our team to learn from last week is that defense will travel. Even if you don't have your best offensive game, which Marshall did not have on Saturday against App State, your defense can still play well. That was a game they gave up 16 points in the first quarter. Then they gave up 15 combined in the second and third. That's how they got back into that one. So this is a team that knows if it plays really well defensively at a high level every night. You'll even look at the Kentucky game. That game was first up for the first quarter. It's just when Kentucky really started kind of instilling Kentucky basketball, that's when it really got away from Marshall. So I think they know that every night, if they play high-level defense, they're going to be able to compete. They've just got to see the ball go in the bucket, and it's going to be an interesting thing tonight. And look, this isn't a recent thing for Marshall. They're 13-3 overall this season, yes, but last year, this is a team that won 9 of 11 down the stretch last year. So you really think about it, they're 22-5 in their last 27 games. So that right there breeds confidence. Julie Folks talked about that. The confidence they got from that 4 wins and 4-day run last year in the conference tournament, the confidence you get from beating James Madison a couple weeks ago here inside the Henderson Center, those things breed confidence for your team. And when you get a team that's confident, the team can be dangerous.
Bobby Iddings joins us. He's going to have the call tonight on ESPN Plus. That's coming up at 6 o'clock. Speaking of that run, so far, the Thundering Herd, as you alluded to, 13-3. And we had to go back into the notes here. This is the best 16-game open, believe it or not, since the 1986-87 season. That is a long time ago for a lot of Herd fans. For some, that's history. For a few, that's kind of I was there, but still, that's an amazing start to. And this is including that amazing run that that Marshall had a couple of years ago. So to see where this team is at right now, under just the second season with Coach Folks is amazing.
Yeah, and look, I think you can chalk a lot of that up to leadership. I mean, you look at the players that start in the starting lineup primarily, and then you have 2 4-year players in that starting lineup with Meredith Mayer and Peyton Ilderton, the West Virginia natives, the state natives, that they probably could have gone other places and really been key cogs of an offense there, but they stayed. They stayed in Huntington, and Julie Folks talks all the time about just the leadership that Peyton Ilderton brings to the table. She does the right thing. She's a good kid. She leads on the floor. She leads off the floor. She's vocal for this team. But she's also talked about this is a team that leads together. There's not, Peyton may lead in the locker room and things like that, but she's not a yeller and a screamer. She's just a communicator on the floor. But other than that, it's just a team that works really well together. It's a team that has a high level of chemistry. That's how you get off to that 13-3 start. If you see teams that aren't really communicating, teams that have the infighting, and maybe you don't even see it on the floor in a day, those are the teams that struggle. This team doesn't have that in my conversation with Coach Folks. She knows what she has in this team. And again, this is a coach that has won a national championship at the Division III level. She's been able to really, really be successful. She knows what it takes to really have a winner. And again, she knows the offense is going to come and go. But if she has that defense competing at a high level, that's what's going to allow you to keep winning basketball games. And again, Marshall has to keep proving itself to itself over and over. But now, after that 22-5 run that I've talked about in the last 27, I think they've proven that to themselves. And I think they think every single night they come out, we're going to win. We're going to compete. We know what we can do.
Bobby Iddings joins us. He'll have the call tonight, ESPN Plus, coming up at 6 o'clock. For those of you that will be following men's basketball on 93.7 The Dog, you have that second screen up. You can follow along all the action with Bobby. Injuries, where are we at with the Thundering Herd? Any news updates as far as who's available, who might not be on the court tonight?
Yeah, Blessing King, she took a little shot to the eye in talking with Coach Folks and talking with Blessing, too, before the game tonight. Took a little shot to the eye against Appalachian State. She'll be back, so she'll be back on the floor tonight. Olivia Olson will be out for this week at least, and that's a big loss for the Herd. That's a player that had been averaging nearly 20 points per game in conference play, shooting 50% from three-point range since Marshall's gotten into conference play as well. She had really started ratcheting up her game since Marshall jumped into Sun Belt Conference play. Just a freshman, so she's got multiple years left under her belt no matter what happens. But it's going to be an interesting challenge for Marshall. How do you replace 13 points per game of Olivia Olson over these next couple, just to see, is it Ariana Redmond? Is it a player like Timberland East? Is it Cassie Ingram? Who steps into that role as a shooter? Because what Olson was able to do is she's able to really expand the floor. Marshall won't have her the next 2 contests at least, so who really steps up into that role? And that's what, again, talking to Julie Folks, she said, look, we have 13 points we have to replace. Cool. So maybe Peyton Ilderton gets another 3. Meredith Mayer gets another 3. Tamaya Lewis-Utsi gets a couple more drives to the bucket. And maybe Nakia Chesterfield goes to the free throw line with an and 1. There's your 13 points that you may need. So it's going to be a collective process to see who can really get to the line, who can get to the free throw line, who can shoot ball from outside to really replace those 13 points per game.
Thundering Herd, 13-3, 4-0 in league play. If Marshall wins tonight, we'll be looking at 5-0, and that's going to be huge for the weekend. We might have, I don't want to say record, but we might have a season high crowd this weekend if Marshall can go to 5-0 in league.
Yeah, and this team's fun. To be honest, this team's fun. They defended a high level. You watched the end of that Coastal Carolina game last week. Peyton Ilderson gets a 3-point play with 15 seconds left, then steals a pass with 5 seconds left, goes down, makes a layup, really erases a deficit. Marshall forcing 4 turnovers in the last minute and 20 seconds of that one to erase what was a 5-point Coastal Carolina lead in that game. This is a fun team. They shoot the three at a high level. They can defend really well. It's a fun team to come out and watch.
So does every coach request you for play-by-play? Because wherever you go, the team wins. So is that right now where it's at? You're the lucky charm?
No one said that. I won't remind you that I was on the ESPN Plus broadcast for the Georgia Southern football game at the end of the year. We won't talk about that.
I didn't hear that. I didn't see that. What are you talking about? No, I have no idea.
Yeah, we won't remind that. But, hey, man, it's fun. Again, it's fun. It's for the fans. If the fans want to hear anything else, I'm always willing to hear whatever fans want to hear.
Bobby Iddings joins us. He's going to join us all season long. Thundering Herd right now looking really good, 13-3, 4-0 in league play, taking on Old Dominion. If you're heading to the game, of course, you can watch the game and listen to us on 93.7 The Dog. If you're not heading to the game and you're going to be following along on the radio side for the men, Bobby's got you covered, 6 o'clock, ESPN Plus on your second screen, or if you're watching it on the big screen, doesn't matter. Bobby will have the call. Bobby, thanks for doing it again. As always, looking forward to the next time.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate you.
Bobby Iddings, everyone who will have the call again on ESPN Plus. We'll get your text in 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 when we continue on this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At home or at work, in the car or at the gym, there's nothing more convenient than the fast service and the quality products brought to you by Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee. If you're always on the go with family, friends, coworkers, and business associates, give Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee a chance. They have everything that you need, from filtration coolers, coffee for your work, at-home delivery, and 8-ounce, 10-ounce, and half-liter bottles, or by the pallet. Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee, where great taste just comes naturally. Visit us at tylermountainwater.com. At home or at work, in the car or at the gym, there's nothing more convenient than the fast service and the quality products brought to you by Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee. If you're always on the go with family, friends, coworkers, and business associates, give Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee a chance. They have everything that you need, from filtration coolers, coffee for your work, at-home delivery, and 8-ounce, 10-ounce, and half-liter bottles, or by the pallet. Tyler Mountain Water and Coffee, where great taste just comes naturally. Visit us at tylermountainwater.com.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicki Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Cold weather's on its way, and what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
Are you ready to be a part of something bigger? Join a West Virginia Laborers Local Union. We're on the lookout for dedicated individuals to join our skilled workforce. With comprehensive training and a strong support system, we'll help you build a fulfilling career. Step into a future with endless opportunities. Visit WVLDC.org and start your journey today. West Virginia and Appalachian Laborers District Council and LIUNA, your workforce solution. WVLDC.org.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Memorial Day sale and get 30% off paints and stains May 16th through the 26th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
This is Marshall head basketball coach, Corny Jackson, and it's time to turn up the energy in the cam.
Dubinsky, three for the lead. Got it, +1. Wilson Dubinsky makes it 46-45, and he goes to the free throw line.
Sunbelt Conference play is heating up, and your Thundering Herd are right in the middle of the fight. Up next at the Cam, the start of a 4-game homestand with Coastal Carolina, January 14th, Wednesday at 7.
Get your tickets today at herdzone.com, and let's keep the Cam rolling.
Here's another Kinder Communications community chatter. Congregate Meals is a service providing a nutritious, safe, and appealing meal in a congregate setting, which provides socialization. Congregate Meals provided anyone age 60 or over. You can call the Area Agency on Aging District 7 Resource Center for information at 800-582-7277.
This Kinder Communications community chatter brought to you by Ohio Valley Bank, dedicated to giving you the financial answers you deserve. Ohio Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talkline, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, 10:06, it will be another edition of Metro News Talkline right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, it is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Marshall basketball coming up tonight. We'll have the game between the Herd and the Dukes. We go on the air in, just about a few minutes. Also, you can listen on 93.7 The Dog as we will take you from tip-off to the post-game all right here all night long on your home of the Herd, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line is open, 304-396-TALK. Let's go to it right now. Texter wants to know, Ashley starts with a statement, says, there have been a lot of good tight ends to come out of Marshall. Where do you rank Lee Smith as a tight end? I got him in the top 3. Who are your other 2? That's probably my first question to you. Who are your other 2? Who do you have ahead of Lee Smith? I'm going to put him in top 5. I'll go top 5 right now. I will say Cody Slate has got to be in your top 2 or 3. Cody's got to be there. Also, you got to put in the doctor. Sean Doctor's got to be in there. You got to put Mike Bartram in. Coach, if you hear this, you're in my top 5. You're in my top 5. You also have to get Ryan Juracek in there as well. I mean, how do you stack all 5 of those guys? Of course, I think Lee Smith's in there, but where would you put Lee Smith? Who's above Smith? Who's below Smith? Is Bartram above Smith or below him? Is Juracek above Smith or below him? Same thing with Sean Doctor and Cody Slate. Who's going to be in your top 5? I got to say those are the 5 you got to try to figure out where to stack. Texter says Lee Smith number 3. I might have him 4 or 5. I'm undecided on that right now. I got to make sure Bartram's up there though. I got to do that. I can't kick him out of the top 5. He's got to be in that top 5. Appreciate the text. You can text in as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Going back in a Wayback Machine for some of those names here. Who do you think's the top 5 tight ends at Marshall University? I'd like to hear your opinion on that because I've got my opinion. Those are my 5 guys right now. I'm probably going to roll with them in the top 5. If there's an argument to be made for someone else, speak now. You could maybe – could you make an argument for someone else? maybe some of the recent guys, throw in a name like Gator Hoskins. Can you make a name for him or make a case for him? That's an interesting question. But those are definitely my top 5 that I'm going to go with. And I think Smith is good. Smith is definitely in the top 5. Bartram's in the top 5. Juracek, Sean Doctor, Cody Slate. I just don't know where I'm stacking those guys at. I mean, you're going with this Marshall career only, or you're just going, overall career. If you're going overall career, that's a good question. I mean, Mike Bartram was in the NFL for a long time. I got to put that in there. But again, if we're just basing it off Marshall, maybe the finished product, like, okay, what was the career like? Maybe you go with Bartram. Maybe you go with a Juracek, maybe. I mean, I think Lee Smith probably is a strong candidate. Texter said 3. I could see that. If you're doing 3, who's behind him, though? That's what I'm more interested in. Who are the 2 that are ahead of him, and who are the 2 that are behind him? What's the top 5 look like if you're going 3 with Lee Smith? That is an interesting conversation to be had at another time. Don't forget, we got basketball coming up here in just a few moments. We're going to switch on over to 93.7 The Dog here in just a moment. Of course, we'll have the game right here as well on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 as Marshall getting set to take on James Madison. Herd 10-5, 2-0. I'm sorry, 2-1 in league play. James Madison coming into the game 8-7, 1-2 in Sun Belt play. James Madison picked as the favorite, but struggled early on in league games. Haven't been very good on the road when it comes to league play. James Madison, though, is really good at home. 5-0 at home, but as far as conference games are concerned, 1-2. 2-7 overall. So haven't found much success on the road, but the home schedule been much kinder to James Madison. We'll see what bears out tonight. The Thundering Herd 2-4 on the road. That's going to do it for this edition. Stick around. We've got basketball coming up here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog.
Bigfoot here.